Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Sandworm tanking. Um, the meta is totally different from traditional dungeons and all of this because you're using a bow and a hatchet. You'll see me go over my build here shortly. One of the key features in tanking with a bow is to have hated on it because bows do not have a taunting ability. Uh, and as well, you can see on my bow it has Beast Bane and Flame Attunement. My hatchet, the Course of our Carnelian, with Vorpal, Keenly Jagged, something I picked off the trade posts. I still got some strike protection. You never know if you might end up getting laid down with a hit from the worm, so it's good to have a little bit of protection from him. He does strike damage. The ring is just something from a world drop. I just put it on because it has thrust damage and bloodletting. One of the key features to the earring, though, is having Despised. Because the bow doesn't have a taunt ability, Despised helps you gain that aggro and keep it and maintain it. You can see me going over my build. It's not really too crazy. Some of the pieces are from the worm, things that he has dropped. But I definitely wear all light in the build. We can see here too. We're gonna look at the fight. You can see I'm totally separated from my team on the left side of the arena. As soon as the worm comes out, I start laying damage onto him as fast as I can to gain aggro. It does get a little nerve-wracking to say, like, it's very questionable of whether you'll get it or maintain it. So right here, once I get it, I go back to my corner, and it's pretty smooth sailing from here. You can see he's spitting at me, but it's not at a crazy speed. It's not too, I don't feel too like I'm in a dangerous spot, you know. But as you can see too, all the melee DPS that are at the bottom base of the worm, they are no longer getting struck by the worm. He's the melee mechanic of the worm is really no longer present, which makes it a way safer environment for the melee DPS. They're able to apply damage very comfortably. They're able to manage all the ads pretty comfortably because they don't have to look for the worm coming after them. And even to a side note for this, the acid that he lays down on the ground, you always want to make sure that you're real close to this wall, because right behind you is one of the buttons for the light mechanic of this fight. And if you're too far to the right, you can actually get the sandworm to apply acid on that button, which would make it unusable for a period of time. This is something that we don't want to do because the lights are applying a big buff to our team. You can see right here, as I'm fighting the worm, I'm looking down at the bottom of my screen and I'm looking at the acid. And I see that it's gone. I start rolling back to the corner. Shortly here, we're going to go to the 2 scorpion phase, where you have to kill 2 scorpions. The worm is shooting out of the ground. And so here it goes. I tend to try and be right at the entrance of the scorpion. It doesn't matter too much if people are in front of me, because he will generally gain aggro on me, and he will pretty much ignore them, and they could do whatever they want. But you can see this is a great tactic because his life, you see, we pretty much get to free DPS on him. And we continue on to the next Scorpion, which is held by a off tank of some sort. There we go. They already killed him. We're going up to the ramparts. I'm going all the way to the far left by myself. I got one healer next to me, just in case. As soon as the worm pops out, you're going to want to lay as much damage as you can on him. But this is only for the tank. This is only for the tank. DPS should not be shooting him at all because the window to gain aggro in that phase is so small. And right here, you'll see they broke the stamina. He does a big swipe on the stage. You want to wait for that to finish. And right there, we pretty much passed all the mechanic phases of the Sandworm. And it's nothing too crazy. Everything else is not too bad. After you've completed that rampart phase where you are running up and going to the far right by your side, or far left by your side, I'm sorry. The mechanics pretty much repeat themselves after that. So I'll probably be skipping ahead in the fight. This is us now. We've just killed the two Scorpions again. We're running up to the ramparts. I'm getting aggro on the worm, so he looks at me, starting to dodge the spit that he throws. Nothing too crazy. We've done this before. But after we break his stamina this time, he will be spitting metal ores out of his mouth that, if not taken care of, they will explode and do big damage on all the existing teammates. You can see one of the metal ores flies towards me. The only reason I take care of it is because it's right on me. Other than that, you should definitely let your teammates do it. Because keeping aggro on the worm is way more important than taking care of a metal ore. You can see one of them exploded there in the distance. It did a pretty good chunk of my health. And really, that is it, guys. I wanted to make this video because I didn't see too many tanking guides for the Sandworm. I know it's a pretty big fight. It takes a lot to organize. And I just wanted to give some tips and tricks, you know, to people who were wanting to venture into it. It's New World's first raid. But yeah, thank you again, guys. And thank you for watching the video. I would love if you put a like. And we'll see you next time.